Sergeant Ratcliffe's plans for Man United have been revealed. Transfer plans, key targets, who they're making moves for, and their strategy in the transfer market. Potential rumours on the future of Ten Hag and the decision Ineos may make, coming in from Fabrizio Romano, but also general changes. Sergeant Ratcliffe is changing everything about Manchester United. Changes to staff. We spoke about in the video the other day, them paying staff to leave early. There's cuts to staff, changes to counting, changes to facilities. So much news came out today surrounding Manchester United transfer plans, general plans, that I thought, you know what, this is a 10-minute late night roundup. We're going to round up all the news that's come out today in 10 minutes, but focusing really on the changes that Ineos plan to make. So please do hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Give me 10 minutes of your time to get into all this news. So this was said by the Muppeteers. We're going to start with the manager news, then we'll get into transfer news, targets, other things that are changing, the youth, and more. So it was said by the United Muppeteers. The situation is the same as last week. Erik ten Hag is very likely to leave Manchester United. There's no new information to suggest otherwise. As far as the Muppeteers are aware, ten Hag's likely to leave, likely to be sacked. However, there could have been a change decided in the last week after the FA Cup win, but they've not been communicated that. So as far as they're aware, he's probably still like to leave unless they've decided post FA Cup to change their mind, which makes sense. I think the feeling is he was going to leave. FA Cup win, McKenna not being available seems to put a spanner in the work. Are Ineos 100% sure that Thomas Frank and Poch are going to do a better job than Ten Hag? I wouldn't be 100% sure of that. In fact, I'd probably keep Ten Hag over them, and I would keep Ten Hag over them. Maybe they're twisting towards Ten Hag staying, or maybe they're waiting for a good time to announce it. Melissa already did say on the Ten Hag situation they don't want to do what Bayern Munich did. If they do sack Ten Hag, they want to make sure they have a replacement lined up first, which could be the reason for delay. But I don't want to talk too much about the manager situation. I do want to get right into the transfer news and plans and stuff, which we did touch upon a little bit in our live stream, but there's some important things to add to that. Romana did say at the moment the fact Manchester United spoke to several agents of different managers gives the feeling there's a concrete possibility to part ways with Ten Hag. However, no formal communication has been made and no internal decision has been made. Romana and Muppeteers suggesting they believe that Ten Hag will leave, but they've not been communicated with to say that's an official decision. So it's still looking like Ten Hag will leave, sadly, but nothing official. Now, I don't want to talk about the manager for too much longer. I want to get into this report from Rich Vey, and I want to get into some other reports about changes going on at United, as you can see. So I want to talk about changes that Ineos are going to make to the transfers. Man United's manager will have less influence over the transfer decisions as part of the club's new strategy going forward. Eric's prior recruitment power will be taken away from him if he remains in the job, while the Man United manager will be asked which areas of the team they would like to strengthen. The recruitment team will be asked with creating a short list of candidates from which the first team coach will be asked their preference. Ineos aims to sign players for the club rather than the managers to ensure they are future-proofed to fit in, irrespective of who leads the team on a daily basis. Now, we've known this for a while. We've said this for a while. Ineos want a head coach. They want the manager to take a step back. They want to develop a style of play. Jason Wilcox has been tasked with developing the style of play that Man United are going to play. And then essentially, whoever the manager is will be asked to play this way, and they would assign the players for that. Of course, they will listen to the manager and their preference, but Ineos are going to take hands in recruitment. Ten Hag will be given less power if he's manager next season, and that isn't a bad thing. The fear is, Brailsford could have a stay in recruitment. Matt Hargreaves could have a stay in recruitment. Ashworth isn't in yet. It's just Wilcox. I'm a little bit worried that we need another name in recruitment because I don't trust those people currently at United. And look, I like Ten Hag. I want Ten Hag to stay another year, but I don't trust Ten Hag's recruitment. I think Wilcox is good, but we need Ashworth. We need more names. We need Barada to discuss recruitment, although we are going to talk about the targets. And I do like the names of some of the targets, but it's very Brexit, British focus, which I know is what Ineos' focus is. They want to focus on young domestic players, which is fine, but they all seem to be young and domestic. Obviously, there's been Todderburn for Fana links, but most of the internal targets seem to be domestic Premier League players, and I do think we need someone that is very comfortable and familiar with football outside the Premier League, which brings us into the next part. Who are United's targets? Well, Manchester United want to sign Jared Branthwaite to form a first-choice centre-back partnership with Lissandro Martinez, with Everton open to selling. Their valuation of 60 to 70 million is met. The most United will spend on Branthwaite is 55 million. Man United are hoping to strike a deal for 50 million due to Everton's need to sell, and are going to test the waters reportedly by putting in a 40 million bid next week. I think the deal will be done for 50 to 55 million. Those inside United are confident that this deal gets done, but if it's under 60 million, the deal is done. If it's over 60 million, I think United walk away and go for Todibo. Maybe they get both if they sell Lindelof or sell Maguire, but right now it probably looks like it's just Branthwaite, but we do like Todibo. It was also said that United are confident signing Branthwaite and Elise. Elise has had conversations with Chelsea, but apparently he would wait to move to Manchester United, with him being a big United fan. Elise and Branthwaite are great signings, but we definitely need a DM. I wouldn't go for Amadou Onana. I would go for Fofana. Elise and Branthwaite, cool. 120 million for the both of them. It's a bit pricey, but two good signings. Then go for Yusuf Fofana in midfield. Then even look at maybe Todibo as second centre-back. Then look for a striker that's going to help Højlund abroad. I think you can get 2-3 key players from British leagues, but you have to overpay when they're Premier League players. So I do think we need to utilise the abroad market more. But we've known this for a while. Elise and Branthwaite are targets. Other targets, and this is what I said about this British Brexit domestic Premier League proven love. Amadou Onana, Branthwaite, Elise, Adebaro, Mark Gay, Kilman, Neto, Ferguson. They're among basically the names we like, all Premier League players. We do like Fofana. We do like João Gomes, who's not been listed on that, which is a Premier League player. We do obviously like Todibo, but if again, they want Todibo and Branthwaite, but that depends on sales. Will Maguire shift way? Probably not. Do you want Maguire to be a fourth centre-back on his wages? Not really. They obviously looking at left backs. Loco is one, Kirkes of Bournemouth is another, but there seems to be a Premier League focus, which is fine. Young domestic proven players, John Stones, Raheem Sterling from Man City, for example, even Robertson at Liverpool. Mane worked at Liverpool really well with Stan Dijk from Southampton. That is absolutely fine. I don't mind us signing players, but I still want us to do a mix of signing players from the Premier League and abroad to utilise the market. But when I say everything is changing at Manchester United, I mean literally everything is changing. Not just transfers, not just like staff, not just maybe the manager. I mean everything's changed. Like half the board's gone, Cliff Batty's gone. They're basically paying staff to be made redundant. But it's also been said that Ineos have initiated the biggest shake-up of Carrington's work practices and environment into the complex 23-year existence. One of the major renovations will involve knocking through the walls of offices to create 2 communal working areas for the manager and many staff. They are completely revamping Carrington this summer. We've got a complete new training ground this summer, which is brilliant. I still have skepticism about Ineos, I do, but I think the fact that Ineos have come in, they've invested their own money and they're changing the facilities right away, the training ground, they're planning to change the stadium, they've got rid of Arnold, they've got rid of Murta, they've brought in Ashworth, they've brought in Barada. Ineos are showing good signs, actions speak louder than words, and they're taking actions and they're taking good actions. Let's see what they do in this transfer window, let's see what they do in the next transfer window. You can't fully judge them off this transfer window because at the end of the day, Glazers have set us back the last 18 years. It's going to take at least 3 years to get this club back, and we can judge Ineos properly in 3 years. But as someone that wanted Qatar and had doubts about Ineos to begin with because I wanted full sale, it wasn't that I wanted Qatar, it was that I wanted full sale, and I still want full sale. I have to say Ineos have proved me wrong a little bit in the sense of they've put their money in. Ratcliffe has put his money in straight to improving Carrington. He's not taking money out, he's investing in improving the club, which is great. And I think it's good to have a communal area for the manager and staff to chat. Ronaldo in his Piers Morgan interview said that nothing had changed at Manchester United in the 17 years or something as well. Now, what we do know, according to Time Sport, is Ineos want to become more cost-effective as a business, telling staff to look after club money as if it was their own. They stopped paying for everyone to go to Wembley. They've cut the staff. They stopped working from home, so staff are actually working, and now staff are working. They don't need as many staff. They've sent emails out basically telling half the staff to go. They want to be cost-effective. Man United have more staff than any other Premier League club, but half the staff are there to do nothing. It was also said that they want to introduce a more collaborative approach at Carrington by creating new communal areas for the manager and his coaches and other backroom staff, as they spoke about, which I think is good. I think you can't change the team until you change the club. You can rebuild the team, but rebuilding the team depends on the environment around the team, and that doesn't change until you rebuild the club. And I like that Ineos are rebuilding the club. They're upgrading the gym facilities at Carrington about time, and they're going to cut loose staff who are not committed to the new regime. However, there's going to be a lot of money spent. How much money will United have? Well, what United could do in the transfer window at the end of the day depends on sales. There's suggestions that Manchester United are not going to spend big, but every year we get told we're not going to spend big, and then we spend big. As I don't know if it's a negotiation tactic to pretend we're broke, but Manchester United are going to focus on young players. With Mike McGrath saying, with net spend limited, young players coming through will be an important way of going forward, and Harry Amas is highly thought of at United. I assume we sign a left back, although Malacia will be back, Shaw will be back, but if we don't sign a left back, Harry Amas. One of the reasons apparently they were willing to let Alvaro Fernandez leave for so cheap with Benfica, but we do have a buyback clause on that and a sell-on clause, is because they view Harry Amas as being like the next Luke Shaw regen. And I watched Harry Amas for the England under-18s. This guy's a Luke Shaw regen. He just needs to be a bit more confident in his own ability. Like, he's so good, but I think he lacks confidence in his own ability. But he is literally a Luke Shaw regen. Now, talking of Luke Shaw, injuries. We're going to finish off today's show by talking about what Ineos want to change injury-wise. Jamie Jackson said this: Surgeon Ratcliffe has identified Manchester United's dire injury record as a critical area to address. Ineos are intent on strengthening United in the summer transfer window, but are conscious that the squad of quality of players is no use if many are serially unavailable. One thing that Ineos and one thing that Wilcox picked up on is we need to bring in staff for strength and conditioning. We need to bring in staff for rehabilitation. We need to bring in new medical staff, new medical team. They're completely freshening that up. They realise it's an injury issue, and they realise that this, while some of it can't be prevented, they're going to analyse technology training regimes, the coaches, the regimes, up to date it. He's going to compare it to what happened at City, Wilcox, and City have a lot better injury record than us, and assess everything. So when I say the whole club is changing, transfers, maybe the manager, obviously loads of staff are going, facilities, injury staff, medical staff, the whole lot. And I think that's really, really needed at Manchester United. Listen, people, please do hit that like button if you have not already. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. I'll be back about 11 a.m. for a live stream. See you then. Bye.